I am now joined with Indy Pro wrestler from the NWF, Roger Ruffen, right here, right now. Good evening, Roger.
Good evening, Kenny. How are you doing this evening?
I'm doing real good, and from what I've read, you are under the weather, but I do appreciate you still managed to call in.
Well, I'm glad to be here.
All right, Roger. So, how did your wrestling career got started?
Oh, I started many, many years ago, Kenny, longer than I even can remember sometimes. I actually started back when I was a teenager. I used to help the local promoter in the Cincinnati area hand out flyers and posters and stuff like that. Uh, I was always the first one to show up at the show, and I was always the last one to leave. And they said, "Are you interested in possibly making a career of this?" And it's been going at it ever since.
And obviously, you are mostly known for wrestling for the NWF. And believe it or not, Roger, I was actually at a show before. I was there last year. I think it was the spring of last year, and it was at Fort White, Kentucky, and the Star Girls were there. Sybil Star, Veronica Valentine, and one of the Star Girls happens to be a champion, Cindy, one of my favorite female wrestlers. I was there last year, and I had a good time, and I wish I can go to NWF more often, but I do keep up with what's going on, and I enjoy the wrestling and what y'all do out there, and it's a lot of great stuff. Talk a little bit about the NWF.
Well, I appreciate the kind words there. Yes, Cindy is she actually is the current NWF Women's Champion. The NWF has been around for about 16 years now. We're based out of Cincinnati, Ohio. We run events in the northern Kentucky area, around the Cincinnati area. We have events almost every single weekend. We run Fairfield, Ohio. We have a monthly show there. We have monthly shows in Indiana and Harrison. We also run, like you just said, Shimmer's Ballroom in Fort Wright, Kentucky. And we actually keep very busy. We also have a wrestling school where we train several times a week. It's a pretty full-time schedule we got going on up here.
That is amazing. 16 years that NWF has been around. I mean, now that you think about it, how do you feel about NWF, the longevity that this company has had?
Well, I think we really could pat ourselves on the back because we've been around a long time as far as independent wrestling promotion goes. We've never had some big money backer or anything like that. We've gone on just our own company policies as far as promoting and stuff like that. And when it originally started about 16 years ago, that's when wrestling was at its peak. Wrestling was doing so well as far as TV ratings and attendances and stuff like that. And we kind of rode the wave there, and we gathered a pretty good following. And all these years we've had, the following that we've had has been repeat of business. A lot of the fans that come to our shows, come to all of our shows, have come to our shows for a long period of time. We really strive on trying to present a quality product. I don't necessarily think our shows are always the greatest shows, but they're solid shows. When you come to an NWF wrestling show, you get your money's worth. The wrestlers are very well-trained wrestlers. We run a family-oriented show, all ages, it's acceptable to all ages, whether you're a young child or whether you're an older person. Everyone finds something in our shows that they can enjoy, and we're very proud of that.
Talk about the upcoming shows NWF has.
This coming up weekend, we are going to be in Hamilton, Ohio. It's our debut in that city. We're going to be at the Masonic Lodge. It's on High Street in Hamilton, Ohio. And the following weekend, October the 6th, we're going to be at Bone Crushers Wrestling School. We also have a live event there, and we'll be there on October the 6th. And then October the 13th, we'll be returning to Fort Wright, Kentucky. It's the Shimmers Ballroom. That's always one of our favorite places to go. That's what we got going on the next 3 weekends, and you can always check all of our event schedules out on our website, which is nwfwrestling.com. Also, we got the Facebook, got a hotline. All that stuff's updated, several times a week with new information, so you can find out all the updates as far as that goes on any of those social media sites.
Again, I'm joined with Roger Ruffen from NWF right here on Triple Threat Wrestling Radio. Thank you for those that are still listening at the late hours. So, other than NWF, do you have anything else in the works outside of the NWF?
Boy, I have no extra time other than to keep on going what we got going. I actually work a regular 40-hour-a-week job, and we train twice a week at our training facility, and we have shows on usually every single Saturday, sometimes Friday and Saturday, and usually the other evenings we're out promoting our shows, getting the word out about our product and stuff like that. So, boy, I don't have no time to do anything other than just take care of the NWF.
And considering that NWF's been around for 16 long years, what do you consider as your favorite NWF moment? It could be a match, it could be a promo, it could be a rivalry or whatever, something that involves you. What do you consider your favorite NWF moment?
Boy, that's a tough question. My memory's not what it used to be, but I guess toward the beginning, when I first started running the NWF, we first started running our wrestling shows in Erlanger, Kentucky, at Peel's Palace. And like I said, this is 16 years ago, at the height of wrestling, when wrestling was all the big topic of everything. And we ran shows there at Peel's Palace, and we drove just very, very large crowds there. We did really good business there. There's so many memorable nights there. And I think I just remember that time period is probably my favorite time period. Other than as an actual moment, I really couldn't say, but that time period, 96, 97, 1999, those years right in there were really good years for us. And as I said, wrestling was so popular then, and that people were it poured into our events, and it seemed like it was always an exciting show. That's probably what I remember the most.
What do you like the most being in the wrestling business? Do you like being on the road traveling? Do you like hanging out with your colleagues in their locker rooms? Do you like interacting with the fans? What do you like the most of being in the wrestling business?
Well, I can say honestly, the least thing I like is being on the road. That's pretty much any wrestler would probably tell you that it's tough being on the road. But where we have our shows now and stuff, everything's within 50 to 75 miles radius of where we run. So we're home all the time, which is a very nice thing to have. But as far as the best thing, and I'm sure every wrestler, anybody that's participated in wrestling would probably tell you, the best thing about it is when you're in the ring and you get to feed off the energy of the crowd. If you're in that ring and that crowd is getting into what you're doing in the ring, there's no better feeling in the world.
And again, everybody, check out Northern Wrestling Federation if you are in the Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky area. That's a good look. They love the, regardless of the traveling, they do it and they perform. and the entertainment in front of you, the fans. So, credit where credit is due. Check them out. I've been to a show before, and like Roger said, it is a solid indie pro wrestling show. You won't be disappointed, and it's very important, people, to support your local indie pro wrestling show, especially NWF. I mean, 16 years in the business. I mean, not a whole lot of companies, let alone, indie shows, can say that. So definitely, if you're in the Indiana, Ohio, and Kentucky area, check out the NWF. You will be very pleased as a wrestling fan. Um, so who do you want to see compete at NWF that hasn't had a chance to? If you're a fan, if you ever had a chance to handpick or book any wrestler, it could be from the indies or someone formerly of the pros. Who would you like to see at least attempt to compete in the NWF?
Well, we're always looking for new talent. We have a pretty full roster right now, but we're always looking for new talent. Anybody out there that's wanting to broaden their horizons, they can email us through our website, nwfwrestling.com, or contact me through our Facebook. We're always looking for new talent. We've been very fortunate enough to produce some wrestlers that have gone on to bigger and better things. The Monster Abyss, who's with TNA, came through the Northern Wrestling Federation. Wildcat Chris Harris came through the Northern Wrestling Federation. Carl Machine Gun Anderson, who's a big star for New Japan Pro Wrestling, came through the Northern Wrestling Federation. Anytime those guys get to come back for like a homecoming and get to wrestle for us, we really enjoy that. That's probably one of the more enjoyable wrestlers that we like to bring in, is guys that have started here and have gone on to bigger and better things. When they get to come back and visit us and perform in front of our fans, we really enjoy that.
How does that make you feel to see guys like Chris Harris and Abyss, who got their start at NWF, and they move on to bigger things and accomplish accomplished a lot in TNA or other wrestling companies? How does that make you feel to see guys that got their wrestling career started at NWF and see them establish themselves elsewhere?
Oh, I love seeing that. I mean, I take that as a major pat on the back. It's really good to see those guys be able to go on and do great things in the wrestling business. All those guys have worked so hard, putting in countless hours and effort into this, and to see them to be able to succeed it's a really good feeling.
It kind of makes you feel like a parent, and you get to see a child all grown up, doesn't it?
Yeah, actually it does. It very much does, yeah.
All right, so Roger, I'm not going to keep you on for very long. I know you're under the weather, and I appreciate you for calling in, so I'm going to go ahead and let you go. Get yourself some rest, man, and thank you for your time. It's great talking to you, and it's an honor, sir.
I appreciate the kind words from you tonight, and once again, if anybody wants to look us up, just check us out on nwfwrestling.com, and anytime you want to talk again, you just give me a call.
Will do, man. nwfwrestling.com for more info on Northern Wrestling Federation. Check them out. Roger, thank you for being on. You have a good night.
You have a good night, too, and thanks to all your listeners, too.
Absolutely. Good night, sir. That was Roger Ruffen, my last guest of the evening.